Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Scripture Perfect. Today we are going to be looking at a different scripture. Scripture Perfect is it's a time that we are going to take a scripture and utilize definitions and try to bring better clarity of understanding for everybody involved. Today's scripture is in Colossians chapter 4, verses 5 and 6. And it reads this way in the King James Version: Walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace, as it is, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer every man. So that's our scripture. Now, the first thing that we want to look at, I'll just take this for a moment and talk to you for just a moment. First rule of Bible interpretation is within the context. Then the other thing that we want to do is we want to look at the definition of the words, and that generally helps with the scripture. And then also then to help validate and correctly divide the word where doctrine is concerned. Turn around and we'll look at another scripture, another reference, and the Bible will always answer itself. It'll always come together. So if you find somewhere where it's not seeming to come together, that's where you might need to do a little bit more work. You can contact me. I'd be happy to help you with anything I can. So the next particular, we're going to go back to our slide that covers everything. So walk in wisdom towards them that are without, you redeem the time. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how to answer every man. Now the next slide shows us the words, the important words. Excuse me. To walk means to tread all around. Wisdom is to be full of intelligence. And I might want to emphasize that, godly intelligence. There are many kinds of supposed wisdom. There is only one that really is the occasion. So we have those words on verse 5. Now we go to verse 6. Importance words, your thought. Grace here is the divine influence upon the heart, reflecting in the life. Seasoned with salt. We got to think about salt as a preservative. It protects, and it also represents covenant. So knowing how to answer everybody is knowing the necessary response. So when we put those words together into a translation, we would end up with something like this, maybe a little bit easier based upon the definitions for us to understand. Every word be full of God's intelligence. What you say, think, be under the divine influence of God, reflecting into your life. That you would bring protection and see. We're saying that people do not necessarily have the intelligence of godly things. And there's, people spend all their life learning computers and finance and economics and different things that have to do with business and life, cooking and cleaning and I mean, there's many areas to learn, but the most important area to have intelligence is towards God, and in He could show you and deposit it in you in a moment. Only one is necessary: God's influence. And you let Him shine in your heart. You reflect that into your life. And you do that in what you say and what you do. So there's the scripture for us today. You ever been in a situation where you don't know what to say to somebody? God's influence can give you the correct words, the correct way to say anything or to do anything. So that's our scripture for today. And with that, we'll go ahead and sign off, inviting you in the future to join us on Scripture